What do you put on a teenager's resume? They need to get a job, but they need work experience to help them get that job, but they don't have any. It is a vicious cycle. So, how do you build a teenager's resume when there is limited experience? Even for teenagers, it is important to craft a resume that stands out from the rest. Whether your kids are applying for their first job, an internship, or other opportunities, it is essential to showcase their skills and achievements. So, in this show, I'm going to walk you through all of the elements of a teenager's resume to highlight their strengths and help them stand out from the crowd. Hello, Rebel Moms, and welcome to the Life Unboxed podcast. I am Jody, the mom, wife, homeschool mom of six, and successful mom entrepreneur. And I am bringing you information and inspiration on raising your kids, running a business, and of course, keeping your sanity. Be sure to get the Rebel Mom checklist so you can work from home and homeschool confidently. And you can find that at lifeunboxed.blog, where you can also find the episode show notes, tools to make your life easier, and lots more information. And again, that's lifeunboxed.blog. Now let's get into the show. So, why does your teen need a resume? Whether your teen needs to turn in a resume or fill out an application, it will help to think through all of his experience. So, yes, sometimes it takes a bit of imagination to get all that experience listed. Uh, Having it on a resume will be a good reference point when he fills out an application. Now, I know it is hard to think about a teenager's resume without formal work experience, but think of a teenager's resume as a snapshot of achievements, skills, and potential. A strong resume doesn't need to list only job experience. There are so many things you can add to your resume that will make your teen stand out. It is good for your teen to have the resume ready to go before he starts looking for jobs. Then he can readily apply for any job when he sees it. He is ready with all the information needed to get a job. A teenager's resume is going to be the starting point for a job application and a job interview. So get it ready before he starts looking and make it a solid foundation on which to prepare for future career steps. Okay, so now what do you actually put on a teenager's resume? And here's where your imagination kicks in a little bit. And what I mean by imagination is you're going to think out of the traditional job experience box. So, moms, we have so many skills in communication just from being a mom, and we can totally leverage these skills for our businesses. Your kids also have skills that they can leverage. So, number one, job experience. So, think of everything that your kids have done. Do they do chores around the house? Have they worked for grandparents or other family members? You can list these as job experience. Have you considered hiring your kids in your business? And I have another show on that, so be sure to check out the links below in the description. So, most businesses who are hiring teenagers aren't looking for a ton of job experience. They just want to see some, even one job. Think of all the people your kids have worked for and add it as job experience. Or think about hiring your kids in your business. There's a lot they can do. Number two, volunteer experience. Have your kids volunteered at church? Or did they volunteer with a sports league? Have they done 4 H or something similar? All of these volunteer experiences should be added to the resume. And it also adds to the job experience because although they didn't get paid for these volunteer experience, it does show responsibility and all that kind of stuff. So one of the reasons I was hired for my first job was I volunteered in the concession stand for my brother's baseball games. Now, while I worked in the concession stand, I usually ran the register. So this experience was mentioned in my job interview, and the restaurant wanted to hire someone to run the register, and I had the experience from volunteering. Number three, think about academic achievements. Your kids' academic achievements also need to be on the resume. If your kids are homeschooled, this may be a little harder since we don't have assemblies to recognize these achievements. But starting college and high school through dual enrollment is an academic achievement. Completing 2 grades in 1 year is an academic achievement. And yes, my daughter did this last year. She's a bit crazy like her mother. So, what homeschool events have your kids participated in? Are they learning another language? Did they do advanced math? Have they written a book? Think through all of their academic successes and add it to the resume. Okay, so now let's talk about skills and strengths. So, our kids don't have years of job experience, but they have developed skills. Soft skills like communication, teamwork, problem solving, self motivator, organizational skills. These are all good foundational skills for a teenager's resume. Think through technical skills as well. Do your kids use Microsoft Word or Excel? These are excellent skills to add to the resume. If your kids use social media, list the platform they are knowledgeable on. Here are some other skills to consider: 3D printing, coding, cooking, video editing, audio editing, Canva, written communication, mechanical skills. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. So start thinking through and start identifying the skills required in the job description, because there will usually be a list. And think through the times when your teenager had to use these skills and have your teenager write them down on the resume. Oh, now this one's fun. Getting references for your teenager, because they will need to list references. Every application is going to need non-family member references. So gather those together before your teen sits down to fill out any applications. You will need at least name, email address, and phone number, and some applications will also request the mailing address. Make a list of these references and save it on the computer so your teen can easily refer to it when it's needed. Usually, references should be an adult. However, if your teen is applying to a job where his friends work, then use someone who's already working there as a reference. So we've used co op teachers, friends, coaches, and youth pastors as references. We always ask if someone will be a reference first, mainly so they know a strange call is coming in and will actually, answer their phone. Don't know anyone who answers their phone for strange calls. So I always ignore. So you just want to let them know. Now let's get into common mistakes to avoid. You want your teen to create a resume that stands out, so avoid making mistakes. Even minor errors on a teenager's resume can affect the outcome of a job opportunity. Typos and grammatical errors can be deal breakers for employers. Potential employers want to know that your teen can communicate well. If there are grammatical mistakes, it can be a deal breaker because it shows that there might be a lack of communication skills. Another mistake is not using a resume template. Styles of resumes have changed a lot over the years. At the moment, visual resumes are what employers are looking for. Be sure to use a resume template that is trending at the moment. Avoid overloading your resume with irrelevant information. So it's easy to overcompensate for the lack of job experience with other information. A teenager's resume should only be one page and keep it focused on education, skills, and experiences that are relevant to the job. Now let's talk about design, because you want to design a resume that stands out. And resume styles change. So do a web search and get an idea of the current style. Or you can search in Canva for a template you like. The design of a teenager's resume is also going to speak to their attention to detail and whether or not they're ready for the workforce. So we've used Microsoft Word templates and resume templates in Canva. Whichever you use, be sure the fonts and spacing are consistent. So find a resume that includes a picture of your teen. A well-designed resume is going to be immediately eye-catching and it will stand out from the rest. Save your file as a PDF to maintain the formatting and make sure the file name is professional. So, if your teen is submitting his resume online, even the smallest details matter. So, you don't want a file name that says baby boy's resume. You want something like last name underscore first name underscore resume. So, just keep that in mind. All right, let's wrap it up for building a teenager's resume. Is really easier than you think. So, creating a resume may seem daunting at first, but with the right structure and a little creativity, you can build a resume that opens doors to endless opportunities. It's all about showcasing your teen's skills, education, and achievements in a way that makes employers take notice. When your teens are job searching, start with businesses that are newly opening. My oldest kids were both hired on the spot when they applied to a fast food restaurant that was about to open. So I think their interviews were less than 5 minutes and they were immediately offered the job. So look at new businesses because they need people. And if you need more tips on parenting teens, I have an entire section on the website because let me tell you, it is not easy to do. So be sure to check out lifeunboxed.blog. And thanks for listening. Be sure and download your Rebel Moms checklist and check out that teen section at lifeunboxed.blog. Remember, it is possible to work from home and homeschool confidently. And I will see you next time.